Right. Well, you know the immigration ban already sparking legal challenges. Mercedes Colwin is a Fox News legal analyst. Jessica Ramirez is a managing attorney of the Immigration Assistance Program for Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of Newark. Thank you, ladies, for talking to us. We knew that this was obviously going to spark a lot of protests. It is something that hasn't been done in a while. However, Obama at one point sort of did the same, didn't necessarily get the same amount of backlash here. Right. Mercedes, let me just first ask you, for those who legally obtained visas, they bought their plane tickets, and they're now at JFK right now being held, 11 of those. Do they have legal action here? They do have an attorney, and there's already a lawsuit.
It depends on the basis. I mean, some of them are suing on the basis that they're being targeted because of their religious beliefs. But there's a lot of precedent about executive orders, and certainly executive orders regarding immigration, where the courts give tremendous deference to the president when they are making certain constraints about immigration. It's in the Constitution. It has been upheld. The courts have given a lot of deference to presidents who have done these executive orders on immigration. There have been lots of challenges. And frankly, it all depends on the way they're going to carve their challenge in court. If they're going to say they're being targeted because of the religion, it may actually be succeeding. But if they're going to challenge the president and his ability to go and make these types of constraints regarding immigration, it won't succeed. It'll fall on its face.
The Iraqis and their attorneys are saying that they're being unlawfully detained. The White House is calling it vetting, and that is what the executive order is calling for, is stronger vetting. So one could argue, look, this is an executive order signed by the president, and they are being vetted just as the president promised he would, and now he's fulfilling that promise. Do they have much of a leg to stand on in court, since considering this could potentially become law, at least temporarily?
I believe so, because they've been vetted. The reason that they were allowed to go into that plane and come here is because they were vetted by the department.
But not under the heavy vetting that Trump has just enacted.
But before Friday, they were vetted by the State Department, and they were deemed admissible to come here. So it is a problem. They're here illegally, and I think that's what President Trump has been talking about. If you can get here legally, then you won't have a problem. These people got here legally. They've been vetted by the State Department, which is already rigorous. It really is. So once they've been vetted, they were deemed admissible, then they're here.
But they were vetted under a different administration, and that's what President Trump is saying. This is a different administration. We want to make sure that the U.S. is secure. We're going to do that by putting in new protocols, new procedures. We don't know if these people have been vetted, how they've been vetted, what questions were asked. That's one of the reasons why the ban exists, and one of the reasons why there will be a lot of deference given to President Trump.
Okay, there's going to be loopholes, obviously, and doesn't the executive order first have to be passed through Congress in order for it to actually be held and be upheld? I mean, President Trump does not have the final say here. I mean, he needs to have the backing. Will he have the backing for this to actually continue?
We'll see. I don't really know what's going to happen yet, but we'll see. It does have appearance of a ban on Muslim countries. It really does. And
I mean, we did this in 1979 with Iran. Okay, so this is not the first time, and everyone who's upset about that, we do have to look back at history. Okay, the question is, when it comes to Syria, when it comes to Iraq, when it comes to Afghanistan, we have soldiers fighting there. We have U.S. soldiers fighting there. We have families waiting for them to come back. How does this affect our soldiers who are actually currently in these countries?
I think that's a great question. I mean, what President is looking at, if you were radicalized, you are not coming into this country. I mean, that's really what this ban is all about. How there could be some fallout for these American soldiers, it's going to be left, if these radicals get their hands on, they're going to be harmed anyway. It doesn't matter whether if President Trump takes tighter controls. There'll be some retaliation against our troops in these countries. But frankly, it's all about keeping the U.S. secure.
And again, it is temporary. The question is how long? You know, they're saying 3 months.
What I'm looking at is I'm actually scared for the troops, especially if now they're hearing what's happening with this Iraqi that was an interpreter for the military, that was helping the military. I mean, the military needs these interpreters. They need these fixers.
They call them fixers, exactly.
To advocate for them. And it's going to be a problem.
Okay. Jessica Ramirez, Mercedes Colwin, thank you, ladies, very much.
Thank you.
Great to have you. Eric.